Sam Tolbert, Soundofjoy Music Services, in a very much different setting than you're used to seeing me. I am actually out of the studio, out in the backyard. The wife has encouraged me to get the grill fired up, come out of that basement, and help me make some food. So I figured, let me go live out here. Of course, we're still repping the Sound of Joy merchandise. This is the first version of this one, so this is a very cheap looking. The newer ones are much better than this. As you've heard me say, I'm on my iPad, talking to you off of my Apple AirPods. Hopefully, we got a good video going out. I had thought about setting up a keyboard and plugging it in, but I said no. Let me try and put down uh, all of the technology. I think just this morning or today alone, I put out 6 videos meeting the request of those of you who actually view me. So it was good to take a break. You may see my granddaughter running back and forth here as I watch what's happening on the grill. Sometimes you can't have people are supposed to be cooking, and you've got to let's turn this around. You got to cook for people. So of course they put the grill on, put the burger on, but they didn't bring out anything for me to watch it. Everybody else is, as you can see, ran inside. So I'm not going to reach my hand down there and try to flip it over. I will turn the camera back around as not to embarrass anyone and go inside and get those things that are necessary for sorry about the picture. How you doing? How you doing, Micah? Those things are necessary for cooking outside. Now there used to be stuff here that I could put my hands on. There they go. All right. So I'm not just no, I have it. Sorry about that. My finger is touching that. Just dropped the earpiece out of my. So you're getting to see me in a different setting. I'm not all about music. Uh, if you have kept up with me on my Facebook page, you will know that I am a YouTube chef. In other words, if I see something on YouTube I want to make, I will watch someone else do it, go buy the ingredients, use the same uh, understanding that they use, and I'll make myself a air fried chicken or what have I done? Air fried chicken. I've done collard greens, sweet potatoes in the air fryer. I've done sausage and peppers, all by looking at people on YouTube making. I think I do have my air fryer video up on this channel. I think the last time I checked, it had close to 16,000 views, which is peanuts compared to some people that have 200,000 views for how they make air fried chicken. But again, this life is about really putting yourself into immersing yourself into what you want to do, and then pulling back and understanding that there's more to life than music. As I say, I was figuring out, can I pull out one of my little mini keyboards and the connections and click into it and start playing? And I had to talk myself out of it. But I didn't want to go live, so you can see me in a different light. Um, my granddaughter pulled my basketball out of the garage, but I have a car in the driveway, so I can't show you watching me shoot basketballs. I'm 67 years old, and I have no problem, they say, going deep and putting up a nice shot from outside. I've always been a lover of exercising. I was a very good runner for my size. When we would play a game called tag, I was always the last person everybody could catch because I was able to leap over things between cars or in a park benches, just staying active. I don't do that no more, of course, but those days are still in my memory. So now I will take my time, go outside with the basketball, put up at least 25 shots, with the intent to make at least 15 of them. As I said, there's a car in the garage, so I can't do that. Show you that right now. But I do appreciate those who will come in and watch this replay. As I say, I brought something out to help monitor the food, and they took it back in. If you got a plate, you could leave that out here. You don't have to carry it around with you. Look at the bottom of that burger. Make sure that it's not burning. So yes, not only do I teach music, I teach cooking. I believe my daughter, who is a budgeting chef, she wants to be a chef and have her own business. She's um, cooking salmon. It's not going to stick, so you're okay there. But for those that are watching, I believe Micah, yes, Micah, so you're there. Thank you for um, coming in and giving me some company because some people that are around me are worried about eating. Me, I may go get a hot dog and throw that on there. I'm not eating as much as I should, as much as I want to, because I'm a little overweight. And who knows, I may go live downstairs in the basement later on tonight, or do a few more videos. I think as people are watching the videos that I have been creating, they're giving more requests, which is good for me because I want to be able to provide something that's going to help at least one person. I can put up any kind of video, giving context and technique, not knowing that the person who I'm giving it for can't use it in the songs that they're learning. Getting a lot of smoke coming from the grill because nobody's watching it. But so I had no problem. Then now there was one video that was requested that was way above me. It wasn't traditional. It wasn't really contemporary. It was a musician's song, I believe. Had so many opening chords that when I began to just try and decipher it, I said, "This is going to take me an hour just to understand what's going on." It's a little windy out here, but that's good. The air quality has been bad uh, over the past 5 days, and we've got this first really good day. Where it's good to be outside. So feeling the wind blow, which is a good thing. Sort of clean things out. So again, good to have conversation. Good to show me in a different light. Let you see what hard work is supposed to get for you. Have a nice backyard. That's my basketball. Can I zoom in on that? Yeah, that's my basketball. The wife wanted to put that up. I told her, why put it up if you're not going to come out here? B, this is where as far as I want to go. In fact, let's just make sure that things aren't burning up. Turn the heat down a little bit. That's the granddaughter who was out here when she was a newborn, and now she's 11 going on 12, I believe, and an avid soccer player. So it's not all about music. I think sometimes we can get caught up into wanting to be the best musician. I just wanted to be competent. I wanted to be able, as a church musician, if I'm given a song to learn for a children's choir, for a soloist, for a choir, male choir, men's choir, young adult choir, and I'm given a song, I wanted to be able to represent that song if though I was on the album. So you will see me talk about, um, here I am outside trying to relax and talking about music, but that's kind of the avenue that I have been on a good part of my life, being able to understand what the how the composer composed his song, And I realized that you have the songwriter, then you have uh, the the producer who gets the song, and he puts his own influence to it. Then you have the choir members or the singers that come in, and then you've got to try and match up the singers to what the producer wants, and the whole process of getting a song out of the head of the songwriter into the ears of the user, not the users, but those of us that love to listen to good music. So that's a whole process, and I have shown from a demo aspect my approach to that process, the writing of the song, the finding the melody based on whatever scale I'm picking, finding the bass chords to put around that melody, getting the sheet music or the lead sheet done, finding a vocalist that will sing that lead sheet music in a way that I heard it, because I'm not a singer. Someone posted a comment, all that talent you have and you can't sing. Yes, I cannot sing. I can represent notes to myself so I'll know that it is true in the way that it flows around the music, but I'm not the one to grab the mic and in cause damage to people's ears by my trying to represent myself as a singer. There's enough singers out there that you don't need me doing it. But then once you get past the actual vocalist putting your notes into and your lyrics into the song word, building all the music around it. And if you go to my channel, I have two sessions. The first one was I took the song, took the scripture. It was Proverbs, I want to say it's 34 and 1 or 35 and 1. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. I created a song, got it copyrighted, because I couldn't copyright the words because they from the Bible, but I did copyright the melody and the chords, and I got my singer, young man from Canada, through the Fever site, who did a tremendous job on it. Of course, he got paid. That's what that site is. And you help you find singers that match what you're looking to present, and then built the whole song around that. Uh, Sent it off to just DistroKid, and is now available on all of the Spotify, Apple Tunes, iTunes, uh, Spotify. Who else is going? Wherever it is that you can purchase music. Now that Apple is put it out there that they now want all the songs done with the Adobe Atmos rendering, I'm going to go back to those songs that I've done. I already started with one of them, and I did a live on that where I now have to put it in the spatial audio format, which is another world in itself, and it's tremendous to be in that environment. So I'm going back to the first song I did, uh, using what I'm learning from YouTube on how to do that, because I want to be able to share that same technique with those who are where I am, the home producer, for those who can sing, and then like I may do that live tonight. Again, I'm trying to relax now and help people with their cooking and get my hot dog out there. I believe I had a burger yesterday, but I want to be able to show that how you're going to now take those stems, the music which is already done, import it into the Adobe Atmos software, which I have, and then show you how I now have music floating around a virtual area. Put a guitar here, piano here, organ here. Have the music coming from the front of you, and then going to the back, so that it's music above, music below. I mean, it's seven speaker setup, but in the spatial world, you can have as many as 100 and I can't remember now how many objects there were. I can go back and look at the software. I think it's over 170 objects that you could place music in, and you can move it around, and you can have it float around and do this. That's the new world that is coming, or that is here right now. So I don't have a seven speaker surround set up in my basement, but I do. But the software allows me to put it into stereo headphones, and then but I can still look at the placement of everything. Then it gets put into a very large meta file, and that's what Apple now wants to see. And it's got to meet their specifications before they will allow you to sell it on their platform. But it's again, it's good for me to be involved. Hey, how you doing, Fats? I observed many of the best male pianists are very good singers. Interesting. Well, as a youngster growing up, I saw the musicians and I envied those musicians that could sing, play, and direct the choir. I said, that's not me. And I need both my hands playing when I'm playing. So I don't want to be playing and directing the choir and playing. That's pay someone to do that to direct. And as far as singing goes, I don't need to be the limelight. Is there a hymn that you would recommend organists? Hey, how you doing, Miracle Sports? Is there a hymn that you would recommend organists to learn that would have chords that are commonly used today? I Surrender All, because that has major and minor chords in it and diminished. Um, Holy, 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 that has major and minor chords in it, and you can also adapt chords to that. Uh, I'm running a whole set of hymns through my head that I chord through all the time. Anything that has major chords, which will also go into the actual minor. Music is all about texture and the placement of chords around a melody. For those who use the number system, it's easy to say, well, just play the one, the four, the six, and the five, and then write a song. That's easy. The songs of old delved into the actual classical way. They were borrowing melodies from classical songs and then chording around it. I mean, there's so many hymns. Let me go through the alphabet. A, anointing. Well, that's not a hymn. No, that's a praise song. Anointing fall on me. Let's see. B, because he lives. That's a hymn. That's got a lot of your big band chords in because he lives. C, that's a hymn. D. I'm just going through the alphabet of hymns. I wish I had my. If I was downstairs, I would have my actual hymnal in front of me. I can go through the different ones, which are actual hymns. There are standard songs, which may necessarily be a hymn, but they'll be placed in a hymn book. But anything from Andre Crouch, which they now consider hymns, through it all has tremendous chords in it. Of course, in the African American Heritage Hymnal, they have Richard Smallwood's Total Praise, a perfect song for the placement of not just traditional chords, but classical chords when played correctly. Everybody puts that B major on hills when it's a not a B. If it's a B major, they should use that actual B flat on the hills. That's the correct way. In fact, I've seen videos of Richard Smallwood talking about that. My earphones are loosening up on me. I think I'm still there. But I would get if there was an actual hymn. I would say I like "I Surrender All" because that takes you into an avenue of where you can chord naturally and you can chord minor with it. If that helps any. See that dial there in front of you? Or two on the right, two on the left rather. Turn them part of the way up. Right there. Turn that one part of the way up. Now that'll heat it up. Turn it more than that if you want it hotter than that. Okay, I'm sort of running the outdoor kitchen also. Put some water underneath that and you can clean it. I may have to cut this live short because people are beginning to scare me what they're doing out here. Okay, they're safe now. So, that's where I would start. What did I call that? Holy, holy, holy. That got your major and your classical chords in it. Um, for up tempo songs. Did you see me with any paper for no chicken? Oh no, you're gonna hear all the chatter out here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to call this. I'm gonna have to bring this to a close. We'll have to have two women out here fighting over how they're gonna cook food. Yes. Excuse me. No, it's gonna get there. Um, I've been listening to you play "Draw Me Nearer." Yeah, I take liberties whenever I do solo work. I think today I was requested to do two versions of Amazing Grace. There's Amazing Grace, and then the actual Danny Boy version. That's something I would do in a concert atmosphere, not for a actual church service, where I just took the liberties of where the song goes and going using the whole spectrum of the keyboard. I did that with Draw Me Nearer, just to give musicians another way that you could play the song, which is appropriate for church use. You still hear the melody, but then you can hear, I'll call it, I won't say reharmonization. I didn't go that far with it, but I did give it a chance to. You want to turn it up? Turn it part of the. Hold on, let me do this. They'll blow up. Excuse me. It's on now. Yeah, I may have to just see what's going on here. Women are good for cooking inside, but outdoors, it's a man's world. They're hearing me talk, but I've got my headphones on. But yeah, I sort of navigate things out when I'm outside because I like to be in control. Like when you're driving the car, I don't like sitting in the passenger seat. I'd rather be behind the wheel because I can see what's coming before anybody else does. And that's what you do musically. When you're playing, you are seeing the melody and the chords coming before you get there. No one else sees that but you, which is why on my site, when you see me playing, I've already pictured in my thought process. Do I want to start on a minor chord? Do I want to start on a major chord? Do I want to start on a seventh chord? Do I want to start on a 13th chord? Do I want to revert from this chord and drop down half a step and then come back up? That's all happening while I'm playing, which means I actually play it out. I sometimes think five chords ahead before I play it. And if I mess it up, that's because I was crossed between which two I want to use. But the second time around, I would have made the actual decision. That's what music and listening to so many songs over decades will do to you. You'll hear a change you heard in another song, and you'll be playing something different. You have to use that same change in this song. Or when you do try it, it doesn't sound good, and you sort of omit it. It is the fun part about doing music. I'm normally not outside, so I'm hearing conversations from the neighbors who I basically leave them alone. But yeah, Miracle Sports. First, thank you for coming in. It is a part of what I do. I enjoy the not just the playing of music, but lately just giving a insight as to how much I enjoy it by sharing all the chords that I use. Now, when I do the actual breakdown of videos, I purposely omit a lot of those chords so that I could get the technique, the approach over, find the scale, find the bass line chords, which is the natural chord system, and then begin to build from there until you find out what chords are is someone else using in that particular song. How many chords did they add to it or take away to get the sound that they created? I mean, to change these things, and no matter how I position them, they just loosen up on me. But I just came on live just to come on live because I was out here watching the grill, watching other people take mess it up, just chase. Sorry, as I say, I'm watching things, and there's a setting that you have to have on the grill. You can't just walk away from it, and that's what they did was they walked away from it. So I had to go back there and make sure that setting is correct. They had that in the wrong spot. So yeah, not only a conductor when I'm on a piano, but wherever I find myself have to be giving instruction, giving instruction, and that's just part of life. If you can help somebody, as what was the saying, if you can help somebody, the song, if you can help somebody as I go, then my living shall not be in vain. That goes for cooking also, as well as music. Again, I'm not a singer. Uh, you don't know how many times that I've questioned God, why did you not give me a voice? Do you know how much music I could be turning out for you if you had just given me a voice? But as I say, I have relative pitch. Like I can go do re mi fa sol la ti do, but I can go backwards. Da 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 da. So I have no problem being do that. Da 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 ba 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 da da. I can do all of that without a problem. Relative pitch. If I want to sing a diminished chord, bum 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 bum. That's the higher. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, I can with a piano, of course, in front of me, hear what a diminished chord would sound like, what a 13th chord should sound like, just by relatively hearing the notes within myself, muttering it out in a sense, and then sitting down to the piano and hearing whether or not what I'm hearing in my head is the notes I want to play. It's all fun. It's all fun. Well, I'm here 30 minutes now, just about 27 minutes. I'll leave this up. I just wanted to share have a different kind of a conversation, still wind up going to music, and that's okay because that's kind of the avenue. Is perfect pitch a gift or can it be taught? I'm going to say it is a understanding. Uh, I see 3-year-old children playing classical music flawlessly with their little hands. That's a gift. But they have to be able to hear that music first. I doubt if they picked up sheet music at 3 years old and started just playing. So maybe I got to go. Maybe I got to retract that statement. Um, being able to hear the music that you're hearing and then go to a piano and pluck it out, or being able to sing it. Not being a singer, I'd have to probably retract that. I'll call it a gift, something that you did not ask for, but with training, it can be perfected. As I say, I was never taught to play piano by a formal piano teacher. I was instructed in how to play the French horn. Started with a flute, then a trombone, then a French horn. So with an instructor and with sheet music and being taught how to hold, how to build lip muscle, how to read sheet music within the concept of a jazz band. That was the training that I had. But then I took that training and sat down to the piano and said, well, gee, if I do this to learn music with a French horn, let's find the same notes on a piano. So I got one of those sheet music things that you stretch out and you sit down on a piano, and I started thumbing out incorrectly because I didn't know how to play the scales correctly, notes and chords. And as I learned more music, I began to hear those chords on the piano. And then when I bought my first chord book, I finally got to see. I bought one that showed me what a C sharp, what a C7 chord looks like, and the proper fingering, and then every chord after that. And that began my ascension and understanding. This chord sounds like this in this key, sounds like this in that key, sounds like this in this key. So when I went back to songs and I began to hear those chords in the songs, from practicing the fingering, I began to hear those chords in songs. This is why you will see me when I do a live and show you how I break down a song. I'll play the song I'm hearing, the chord I'm hearing, and then start omitting the notes, which is how I began to learn the highest, the lowest note, and then every note in between of a chord that's being played. That people are burning food and not even watching it. I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna stop this live because I can smell the smoke, and I don't burn my food. Look at this. Where these people at? Stuff is burning. So I'm gonna bring this to a close. So if they expect me to eat this, it's got to be cooked right, just like music. If you want somebody to appreciate your music, you got to play it right. Thanks for coming in. It's been a half an hour. I got to make sure that they don't burn up all this that they're making, or go out or go get something for me and cook it the way that I like it cooked. Thanks for watching Sam Tobin Sound of Joy Music Services. If you want to support my site, you are welcome to go to my store and you can get this. Again, this is the first version. I created this. So the first one is the worst one. If you go to my store, there's a link in the description. You will see all the better ones I've done. Again, it's all a process. You know, you want to be able to not just do music, but make yourself an actual entrepreneur in what you do. So that's what you see me doing. Stretching out my reach musically. As I say, I'm updating my system thanks to all of your viewerships, and your viewerships help me because I am monetized. So your viewing helps YouTube to reward me for giving you good content. I want to be able to give you better content, so I am updating my computer system for the first time in 3 years to where I can now get the latest software patches. And I'm looking at doing hardware upgrades also, keyboard upgrades, so I can also do keyboard videos, microphones, anything that may help you on this same path that I'm on. As I say, I don't want it all for myself. I think everybody should have an opportunity to musically express anything that they're capable of doing. So thank you all, and I gotta go and see what they're doing over here. I'm smelling all this smoke blowing by me. I don't have smoke. The smoke I have is good smoke, not just someone not paying attention to what they're doing. They're not out here to be jumping on me. Hey, Twinny, how you doing? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Forgive me for tabling it. At the time I was doing it, I was doing some other things, and I kept getting more requests. And when I went back to it, I said I should have gave the time to this song as I'm giving out to all the other ones. Yeah, I'm live streaming from my backyard on my iPad. Coming out, getting out of the studio. Almost thought about bringing a keyboard with me. That I had to talk myself out of it. If I'm going to bring a keyboard, then I should have stayed in the basement. But I'm watching barbecuing time. The weather's good. Um, for those of us in this part of the East Coast, we were under the smell of smoke and the soot coming from the Canadian fires. So it was a good time finally to get outside and actually take a real good deep breath. I've used that to wash down through, so that's get dirty. Okay, and I got to worry about these people over here cooking now. So thanks for coming in. Take care. I got to fix this. Take care now, everybody. Be blessed.